Hello everyone and welcome to a new in review. This time I'm looking at The Dead Don't Die. I know it was out for a little while ago in the US, but we've only just got it here in the UK. And I was actually looking forward to this film. I've never seen any of Jarmusch's other work, but seeing the trailer for this a couple of months ago, and I remember talking about it on an episode of In Case You Missed It, I was actually looking forward to it. The comedy really worked for me, and obviously the great cast when you look at Adam Driver, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, just to name a few. It really worked for me, the trailer, so I was actually quite excited going into this film, and it really didn't work for me. I think the cast is great, but I think where the film goes wrong is the script and the direction. And I don't know, it's difficult to say without seeing whether this is Jarmusch's style and if that's normally what he does in films, but I think it really missed the mark. And when you look at these zombie horror comedy films, we've seen like the natural comparison is something like a Shaun of the Dead, which is very British in its own way, and that's what makes it work. And there's nothing particularly unique about this film. It tries to the comedy it leans very hard into, and it doesn't work. There are only a couple of jokes throughout the film that really worked for me. I think that was mostly the cast doing the job rather than the script or the direction doing the job, and it is a real shame, because I think had it worked, I don't know how many listeners saw like Free Fire last year. It could have been along the same sort of tone. I think the comedy could have landed in a similar sort of way as a zombie sort of film. I think a lot of the cast is also wasted. Some people don't have big parts or are only in it for a few minutes really. I look at like Danny Glover. The only people that really have the main sort of screen time, which is fair enough, which is Adam Driver and Bill Murray, is they're kind of the lead characters, with Chloe Sevigny and Tilda Swinton as well. They're probably the main four, and everyone else kind of has these really small bit parts, and it kind of feels like you're wasting them a little bit. So it's kind of, I don't think there's too much to talk about really. It is a shame. I would have liked to have seen, like I said, it could have really worked and been one of these sleeper sort of films that everyone seems to catch on, like a streaming service when it's on there, and it could have really been a big highlight for people. I don't know whether it's meant to be like this, and maybe I'll have to watch more of Jarmusch's work just to see if that style is for me and if that's how it's meant to be. There's some really odd moments in the script as well, where a character seems to be able to break the wall for no particular reason, only like a couple of times during the film when the script needs him to, and it feels really lazy. And the character doesn't even need to. It just feels really pointless him doing that, and it just feels like you're breaking the wall for the sake of breaking the fourth wall. But that's kind of it. As I go into my rating of the film, I'd probably give it 2.5 stars. I think there are moments in it that work well. There's a couple of laughs that work really well, but as the majority it doesn't. The cast are great. I thought Adam Driver was great, but he always is. Bill Murray seemed to be phoning it in a little bit more. I thought Tilda Swinton looked like she was having a good time. And everyone else in the cast was great. But it just, I don't know. It really missed the mark. So I think 2.5 stars is a fair rating of the film for someone that was looking at it. I think that's even being a bit generous, to be honest. But that's it for this in review. Let us know what you thought of The Dead Don't Die and how you felt like it compared to other comedies that we've had over recent years. Check out our other shows in case you missed it, and any other shows that we've got coming up here on the Insider Network. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter to keep up to date with the latest news, trailers and everything else going on in the film world. Thank you. Goodbye.